Hello, second grade. Happy Tuesday, although I'm making this on Monday, but by the time you watch it, it will be Tuesday. Um, we are going to learn something new and exciting today, so I hope you're ready for that and ready to work hard. But first, we're going to review some of our phonograms. So we're going to try and do about 10 a day, 10 each day this week, and then we'll have had a chance to review almost all the ones we've learned so far. And hopefully, maybe next week get moving on to the last 17. All right, our first phonogram is ya, I, e. Class, what are you going to write? Good. Ya, I, e. Write it and say it while you write it. And if you don't know it, you remember to put a line below the baseline. All right, class, this is our ya, I, e. All right, so if you didn't have that, write it 3 times and say it while you write it. All right, the next phonogram is sh. Its whole name is sh, used at the beginning of a word or the end of a syllable, but never the beginning of a syllable after the first one, except for the ending ship. But you can just say sh. Right, so remember, if it's a 2 or more letter phonogram, we leave a clock space. All right, this is our sh. All right, so make sure your sh looks like mine. Right, and if you didn't have this, write it 3 times and say it while you write it. That's not because I'm trying to be mean, it's because I want you to know all the phonograms so you spell all your words right the first time and feel how great that feels. And as soon as you have the phonograms memorized, and if you're listening, then you're going to spell things right the first way every time. You'll love it. All right, the next one is the of hurt. What are you going to write? Good, the of hurt. Great, say it while you write it. All right, make sure you're leaving clock spaces. This is the of hurt. The of hurt. All right. The next phonogram is or. What are you going to write? Good. Write it and say it while you write it. All right, this is our or. And you want to make sure that fourth sound, remember it's like you're getting hit in the stomach with the ball. Say that for me. All right, good. So what are the 4 sounds of this phonogram? Say them with me. Or. Good. All right, the next phonogram is All right, this is our class. All right, so if you had something besides this, or if you didn't have it, write it 3 times so it gets in your head and say it while you write it. Because writing it without saying it is not very helpful. Writing it while saying it is very, very helpful to your brain. So help your brain out. Why wouldn't you help your brain if you could? All right, our next phonogram is, I'm going to use my fingers to help you remember, hopefully. A. What are you going to write, class? Great job. Write it and say it while you write it. This is the phonogram that was hardest for me. I always messed up one of the sounds when I was learning them. But now, when I have my fingers to help me, that helps me remember that this is my E, F, A. So remember, my fingers help me because the first sound is E and the first letter is E, and the last sound is A and the last letter is A. So hopefully using your fingers is helping you so you don't have trouble with this one like I did. All right. Next is O, the O of boat. What are you going to write? Great. O, the O of boat. Write it and say it while you write it. All right, make sure you're leaving clock spaces and using your most beautiful writing. All right, this is our O, the O of boat. All right, so if you didn't have this, fix it and do it 3 times. All right. All right, we're almost done with our review because we're just going to do 10 every day. All right, the next one is aw, that we do use at the end of English words. Class, what are you going to write? Good. Aw, that we do use at the end of English words. So write that and say it while you write it. All right, class, what did you just write? Good. Aw, that we do use at the end of English words. All right, the next one is E-I. All right, so to help us remember while we're still learning, for that one we say E-I, but we write. Excellent. We say E-I, but we write I-E. All right, write that and say it while you write it. All right, class, what did you just write? Good. E-I. And if I'm having trouble remembering that, I can say to myself the whole thing, which is we say E-I, but we write I-E. That phonogram is in one of my favorite words, pie. Now I'm thinking about pie. Thanks a lot, E-I. All right, our last one is G, 2-letter G, always followed by a vowel. What are you going to write? Great, write it and say it while you write it. So I'm going to leave a clock space. Class, what was the last phonogram you wrote? Great. G, 2-letter G, always followed by a vowel. All right, and that is this one. G, 2-letter G, always followed by a vowel. All right, so make sure yours looks like mine. If you add something else, then write it 3 times. All right, before I end this video, I want to challenge you to think of our vowels, because what we're going to learn today has to do with vowels. And I've noticed students that I've seen in class, a lot of them still weren't sure what our vowels were. So I want you to think and see if you can remember what our vowels are. And if not, we'll review them at the beginning of our next lesson.